Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Shoot Your Shot podcast.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for coming to another episode. We are stoked today to be bringing you a guest / very good friend of ours that we think has a really good story, but also
oh my God, he's amazing.
It's just like a really fun, inspiring person. So please welcome Jay Ford to Shoot Your Shot podcast.
How you guys doing? Thank you.
Shoot Your Shot.
Shoot your shot.
I'm excited to be here. I'm a little bit nervous.
No,
why?
Podcasting is rough. You know what I mean? There's no edits. It's all the way through.
Well, if you mess up, we'll edit it
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
We got you.
Let's do it.
Jay is a phenomenal photographer and filmmaker based out of Los Angeles, California, but originally from Palmdale, which is like, what, an hour?
It's about an hour north from here. Yeah, not
LA?
too far, but far enough.
So you're like a local-ish.
Not really. If you've been to Palmdale, you know there's nothing out there. So LA is
Have you never
like,
been?
No.
It's just like the desert,
I went once
basically.
when Chris used to live in that house.
Yes.
I went once with you, but it was like 2 a.m.
It's not the place where there's not too many bars, there's not too many fun things to do. There's just, you do sports or you take pictures and videos. So that was my thing. And then LA was the Mecca, so I had to move out here, and now I'm here.
Good shit.
Yeah.
I say, well, I'm excited to dive deep into that story.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yeah, but so to give you guys kind of an idea, Jay is like, honestly, I think I've told you this before, you're like one of my favorite creators.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And like Jay's like one of my good friends, but like your work is so good.
Well,
like if you guys
appreciate
have
it.
not looked at his work, I mean, keep listening to the episode, but after the episode, go stalk his Instagram and follow him and like all of his stuff.
Thank
He
you
is
so much.
amazing.
Thank you so much. Sometimes it's like you don't know if you're putting out good enough work. You compare yourself, but like
You are.
Thank you. To hear
you
it sometimes it's like, oh wow, I appreciate that.
No,
So
you definitely
It is funny though, because like when you're constantly creating and you put out work, you don't necessarily always know how it's being received, and you get in your own head that it's just whatever, it's
Exactly.
mediocre, because you just see it all the time. So you're like, oh, whatever, it's just like my work. But then when you hear other people and how they see it, you're like,
You're like,
my
oh,
gosh,
wow, I
people
actually did a good
yeah,
job.
you're like, what? You like me?
and they're inspired, and it's kind of like, it's surprising almost in a way, because you're so hard on yourself when you're a creator, you know?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to in this day and age. When you turn on Instagram, you click the real thing. You see the best of the best people
Yes.
just like as you go. It's like, damn, this is good. Damn, this is good.
Especially because it caters towards you. So like if you
Yeah.
watch one like sick video, you're gonna see like 20 other sick videos.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes it's like really good as inspiration, but sometimes it can put you in a zone of like, damn, I'm not that good.
Dude.
And you know what I mean?
Time.
We literally just talked about this on one of our last episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I open Instagram and I leave Instagram like, it's not even inspired. It's just like down on myself.
It's like,
I'm like, I could
damn.
be so much better.
But if you flip the perspective and say, hey, I have something to build up to. I need to get better, and I see what everybody else is doing. Now I got to do that myself. But then when you guys say, hey, I love your work, people are noticing. You never know who's looking at your page and saying, damn, I wish I can get like that.
Totally.
So that's why, as an artist, we just have to keep doing what we're doing, and people will fall in love with it.
True. He's always inspiring. You always like end everything with like a really good
I
outro.
know.
Like everything is just like a poem.
So we're not even like 5 minutes into this, and I'm like, wow,
Hey,
I already feel like I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. I appreciate it.
So I guess what today we specifically want to talk about with you is the idea of the work it takes to get to a certain level
Yeah,
of
the
accomplishment
hustle.
and success.
Yes.
The hustle, the grind, and really what that really means. Because I feel like people are always like, oh my gosh, we just gotta work hard, you gotta hustle. But like, what does that even mean? You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what goes into that? And you're a successful photographer and filmmaker. And so you're kind of like on both ends doing both, and you're having success in both areas, which is amazing.
I appreciate it.
And so
Thank
we
you.
want to know more about like what it takes for you to get to that level of success, and how we can help our listeners attain that same success. So with like
Yes.
easy, nothing's easy, but with like easily identifiable points.
Gotcha.
That got
Gotcha.
you
Like
to
just
success.
ways to do so.
Yeah. First, you got to identify what you want to be and what you want to do. As far as being just a photographer, all right, there's so many things you can take pictures of. It can be real estate, it can be models, it can be cars, it can be anything. First, you have to find your niche. And my goal and my advice is to kind of find that, you know what I mean? You have to do all of them. When I first started out, like I did the real estate stuff, I did dog photos, I did the cute girls at the school, I did sorority videos. And throughout all that, I kind of found what I liked, and that's just people. Anything that has to do with people, I'm like, all right, I'm all about it. Like, I did landscapes for a little bit. Wasn't my thing. But I admire everybody else that does it. But to that point is like, you have to find what you want to do. Once you get to that point, then go all in with it. Follow the people that have been doing it. Find mentors, find the people that are successful at it, and then reach out to them. Like, we live in a day and age where it's so easy to reach out to somebody off Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever. You can just send them a message right away. Yeah. And a lot of times people see that, because I work with a lot of celebrities, and sometimes they get like hate messages and they read all of them, which is a toxic thing. But it's like, but people see these messages, and people, real recognizes real. So once you get a real message from somebody that is like deep and passionate about, hey, I really want to be a portrait photographer. What do I need to do to do this? And a lot of times a person will let you come on set with them. They'll take you under their wing. They'll bring you to do anything. So that's my advice. And that's what I did when I first moved to LA. I hit up at least 10 people a day.
So were you hitting up other photographers? Like, what kind of people were you? Tell us more about like how you found mentors, how you reach out to them. Like, what were you saying specifically? Yeah.
So when I first moved to LA, this is right after college. I was still living back with my parents and stuff like that. And my first thing to do was like, I got to get out of Palmdale. I gotta figure out something to do, because I don't want to get a job. And that was my deepest fear. I don't know why, it's like some type of trauma with that, but my deepest fear was being at home and having to get a job and not pursuing my career for what I wanted to do. So I sought out people just through Instagram. I found portrait photographers. I found videographers doing the travel stuff. And I kind of fell in love with it. And that's when I followed like the Sam Newtons of the world, the Rob Strokes, those type of people. And I would just reach out to all of them. And I would hit them up like, hey, my name is Jay. I just moved to LA. I'm really looking for some work. I'm really trying to do what you do. If you know any tips, I would love to get some coffee with you. Just let me know if you're free.
I'm pretty sure that's how you and I met.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
I was like having a flashback. I don't know. I think I either DM'd you or
you did DM me.
Yeah, I DM'd Jay.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I just moved to LA. Like, you do kind of the same thing. I don't want to be in love. Want to be friends?
Those are the things you kind of have to do. It's like, yo, I'm moving to LA. LA is such a big place. It's kind of hard to just start on your own. You know what I mean? You need people to be successful.
That's crazy to think about.
This
is like proof.
This is proof.
Works.
Yeah.
Me and Dave have been friends for like
you message me, you're like, hey, I'm moving from Pittsburgh. I'm into photography. If you need any models, like, I would love to do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Literally a couple months later, I hit up Georgia, and I was like, hey, I got the shoot. Do you want to help me out? And she was like,
insert the photos.
Yeah, I know.
I think I had like a chubby cheek phase. I was like,
and you were so accepting. You were like, yes, let's do it.
I loved it.
And that's what I love about LA. People want to help people grow. And I travel a lot, and I go over a lot of places around the world, and we don't have that. LA is so special that other places don't reach out to other people. They don't collab. They don't do as much as we do.
Weird.
And LA is like, yo, let's all hang out.
People are like so trusting.
Yeah, exactly.
A good thing, but kind of scary. But everybody's so trusting.
It's because we all want to be successful, and like LA is a very success-driven city.
Yes.
And like, it's hard for me to just sit at home and be like, oh, I'm just chill today. Then I get that sudden urge. I get anxiety. I'm like, yo, I gotta do something.
Yeah, especially because like when we live in a city where like there's constantly things happening. Constantly, like you could have FOMO 24/7.
100%, because the weather's always good. There's beach right down the street. There's a million. I know, right? There's a million creators doing what you want to do. So when you scroll on Instagram, you see them doing it. It's like, all right, I got to do the same thing.
Someone's always down.
Always down. And that's what I love about it, because there was a point where I wanted to move away from LA, and I was gonna move to London, and I was like, all right, London's the end all be all for me. I love it out there. And then I spent some time out there, and I'm like, yo, there's nothing like living in California. It's just I think it is American culture. We always want to strive for the next thing. And other countries aren't like that, or other states aren't like that. If you go to Nevada, they're not doing the same thing we do in LA.
Yeah, I think like the American mindset is that it's all about helping each other get to certain goals. And so people here are very willing to share
Mm-hmm.
and to help be a part of other people's stories versus like in other countries, especially in Europe. I feel like that mindset doesn't even exist in any capacity. It's like my stuff is my stuff. I don't share it. Versus like LA, everyone is like, no, like let's help each other grow.
Which
There's
is
no
so
sense
weird.
of urgency either. So I think on that, I have a question. So with kind of like bringing it into the whole like hustle culture of the creative industry, what would you say, like how would you define the hustle culture for just in general and yourself?
I think it's different for everybody because not everybody has that hustle, you know what I mean? There's so many people that are so talented that have all these gifts, but sometimes they don't know how to hustle. And like there's a lot more than just talent that what it takes to be successful. You have to be a very people person. You have to be driven. You have to want to work hard. You have to want to wake up every day. Like for me, the way I keep my lights on is me shooting. So if I'm not working every day, I might not eat the next day. So that constant budge of like, all right, you got to get up and do something, and that's what you have to do. But not a lot of people have it. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
There's only a few select people that have that gift of wanted to do more, and I think I have that gift.
Oh, that's literally why. I mean, obviously we want you on this episode in general, but like this topic is just so like, I feel like you embody that like hustle culture mindset, and that's why I'm excited for everybody else to hear more about you talk about this. Because like guys, Jay, like he does not sleep.
It's bad.
It's bad. I mean, I know I don't sleep, but like Jay really does not sleep, and I don't know, Jay will just be like, oh no, I'm taking a day for myself. And the next thing I know, he's on a project for like 10 days somewhere like working. He's like, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I think, and I'm doing therapy right now. And so I think there's a little bit of, because where I come from, there's not too many opportunities out there. And I think my deepest fear is going back and losing. And like not being able to live where I live now and going back to Palmdale with my family.
So, okay, to piggyback off of that, I was going to ask you this. So do you think like your lifestyle or like where you're from in Palmdale kind of encouraged you to be more like get on the grind, like chase after what I want? Or like how did you get, I don't know, how, like where did this whole like hustle mentality come from for you?
Got you. Just like where I'm from, there's not too much out there, and there's only very limited opportunities to do whatever. Like my school wasn't the best school in the world. Like we had metal detectors going in. It was a kind of a rough neighborhoods in other parts. I didn't live in the roughest part, but if you want to get out of that situation, you have to take yourself to another level in anything. And that could be academics, that can be athletics, that can be anything that you want in order to succeed and to get out of that little bubble of where I was in. Because I love Palm to death, but it's such a bubble because it's like it's not too far from LA, but it's far enough. And people don't leave. People stay there their entire lives. They have kids, they have babies, and they just stay there. And that for me, that was scary. I couldn't do that. I saw way more for me, and I thank God for my parents always telling me there's more out there. Like there was no argument of me going to college or not. It was like, oh, you're going to college. You know what I mean? So if I was gonna be good in something, and at first I was a football player. I was a star football player, and once I chose that path, they're like, all right, if you're gonna do football, you have to take it to the next level. You have to do what it takes. You have to work harder. You have to do extra practice. You have to go to camps. You have to go out of Palmdale and seek training from other people.
What position did you play?
I played receiver. I played receiver and DB. And
I don't know much about football, but I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. So I was a star football player at a certain point, and my parents just instilled in me. It was like, all right, if you're gonna do it, let's go hard on it. And for me, I wasn't the smartest, most gifted educational person, but I knew what it took to get me out of that situation, and that was sports at the time. So I put my all into sports. I did everything that my parents said to do, and I got out the situation. And once I got out, I was like, wow, there's a whole nother world out here. Once I visited my university that I went to, I'm like, yo, this is sick. And the diversity in Palmdale is only Latino and Black, and there was only like 5 white people in my whole graduating class, literally. And so, like, when I went to college, it was a regular college, predominantly white, and that was my first like real white experience. So I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool. This is like the movies. This is the coolest thing in the world. And from
I could just see like little Jay like wide-eyed being like, whoa.
I was like, yo, this is crazy. And but it's because what I did back in Palmdale, I had to work hard to get to this level. And so for everything that I do in life now, I was like, all right, now you have to take it to the next level if you want to go to the next step and the next step from there. It's not that easy, but it is hard because you have to find out what you love and what you wanted to do. Unfortunately, for football in college, I got hurt. I ruptured my Achilles. I had to hang up football. And from there, I was like, damn, what do I do in my life? I'm not, like I said, I'm not the most smartest person in the world, but I'm not dumb by any means, but I'm like, I know I don't want to get a corporate job at the end of the day. That's just not me. I know I'm not going to go to the NFL anymore because I can't even play anymore. What am I going to do? And that's when I really fell in love with the camera. I was messing around with the camera at a young age. And then I was like, I kind of like this thing. And then when I was in college, I majored in film. And I remember the day the doctor told me, it was like, yo, you can't play football anymore. I was like, oh, shit. I didn't get down on myself. I just kind of just took it in and realized I have to do something else. And I remember looking at my camera and saying, all right, let's do it. And I never looked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's so just inspiring in general to have that mindset of you were like working so hard towards a goal that you thought you were going to be able to achieve. And you like actually just physically could not achieve it anymore.
Literally.
So instead of just, I don't know, the world's over, I have to like be upset, you took that as, okay, this sucks, but like, what can I do now?
Yeah, because
that in itself is inspiring.
Like, nobody's gonna feel bad for you just because you got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it sucks. All right, now what? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. Like, I was on scholarship, and I ended up losing my scholarship. So I was like, oh wow, my world has really flipped upside down. Now I have to do something. And thank God I had the camera, and I never looked back, and now I'm doing what I'm doing now.
So did you pick up photography and videography in college? Like, did you start in college, or was this post-college?
No, I picked up photography and videography when I was like 12.
Oh, so you had already been
I had already been
shooting.
doing it. Yeah. Obviously not at the level I'm doing now, but I was always had a knack for something creative. Like my family, a few of my family's in the industry, they're photographers, videographers, and they would like pass me down cameras. And one day my dad had passed me down his home camera, and from there I started picking it up. And this is when iMovie 10 had just first came out.
Oh, we love iMovie.
Yeah. So this is like the first year iMovie had first came out. My uncle had gave us a computer where it had it, and then I had a camera. And I was like, let me just try what this thing is. And literally almost every day I would shoot music videos with my friends. I would make like short skits. I would do photo shoots of all the girls. I would do all that cool stuff.
And I see you going up to the girls and flirting with them, being like, let me take your picture.
You want to model for me? And I remember taking pictures of some of the basketball team and charged them $5 a photo because I got this really cool photo on my Kodak something. I don't even remember what the name is. And then from there, so I was like, oh, wow, I kind of really like this thing. Like I said, like book smart, it wasn't me. I can handle myself, but like something about the creative world that just like draw me in. So that helped me make my decision on the college I went to when I got a scholarship. If they didn't have a film school or photography, I didn't want to do it. So I was kind of football and the creative person was kind of aligned. And then once football was over, I used everything that football taught me and put that into the photography, videography.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So like, how would you say because I guess, how would you compare, I guess, the athlete mindset to the creator mindset? I never really like thought about that before. Yeah,
and I think that's where that gets me up every day, because like when you're in football and when you're in sports, you're pushed to the limit. Like there's no saying, coach, I can't do it. There's no, I can't do it. And it's called an adversity test. In sports and in practice, they'll push you the hardest and they'll be like, all right, this is the last one. Everybody sprint through, and you push all your work into it. And they say, oh no, do it again. And you're like, what? But that type of stuff builds character.
That's savage.
Yeah, I know. That's just sports. That's just American sports. And once you're like pushed to the limit and then you can't go anymore, then you still have to push some more. That means you can do anything in the photography world. If I can kill myself on the field, what's the hardest part for photography for me? There's nothing. So now I apply that to what I'm doing every day. That now, when people get flustered about certain things, like if a camera's broken or if something's not going right on set, you got to keep it cool. You got to keep it cool. Like I've been taught years ago of like how to handle adversity. So when a lens is broken or you don't have something, I can handle it. I'm fine.
I think that's so important.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a good tip. Like, because there's always going to be something that goes wrong.
Every set.
Whatever you do, every set, every like location, like wherever you're shooting, something is always going to go wrong. I know that sounds negative, but it's just true.
It's just what it is. It's like, how do you handle yourself on the go? And like, it could be $1 million production. It can be a $2 production. There's always going to be something going wrong, but how can you handle it? And how can you handle that test? And that's how you're going to be successful.
So you're an incredibly hard worker and you're always grinding. That can be very tiring at times. How do you balance consistently working hard and putting in the time, the effort, the energy with self-care and taking time for yourself? Like, what does that look like for you?
I'm very an addictive personality type of person, and I'm not lying when I say this, but I really love what I do. Like when people say like, "Yo, you should chill out, you should like rest a little bit." For me, I'm like, I'm actually doing what I love. Thank God I get blessed for these amazing opportunities where I get to travel around the world, where I get to meet these most beautiful people and hang out with the most creative people in the world. And like, who am I to complain about that? You know what I mean? It's like God gave me this gift of creating. That's what I'm going to do. I actually feel weird when I'm not creating. When I'm just at home and just chilling out, I get anxiety. I'm not as happy as I should be because I feel like I should be doing something cool. And it doesn't have to be killing yourself and working 12 hours. It can just be, hey, let's go down the street and just walk and take pictures for a little bit. Let's go to the beach and look at the sunset and take a couple pictures of the sunset. It doesn't have to be on your big camera. It could be on your phone. But that, to me, is like, I'm doing what I love. I am being in the moment. And that's what I get. Is I really love this. Obviously, there's days where like you work hard, you're on set all day, and you're tired. But I'll sleep. I have no problem sleeping. I'll sleep for my 8 to 10 hours, and then I'll get up and.
You are really strict on your 8 hours.
Yeah,
I will say. I know that from traveling with him.
Yeah, I got to get my 8 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna get that. That's a non-negotiable for me. It's like, all right, if I'm working hard, I'm gonna sleep hard too.
I think that's a good point, like having non-negotiables for yourself.
For sure. It's like I have to wake up every morning, I work out, I journal, I take a walk. I don't do anything creative until about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And that's my non-negotiables. I get 4 hours of my me time. And that gives me the right balance of like, all right, now I can do whatever I want in the creative thing because I took care of myself first. Yeah, so like for my non-negotiables every day is my self-care, and I just do that every day. And there's no argument with it. If you look at my calendar right now, it's meditate, journal, read, gym, walk.
So do you leave your mornings always like open just for yourself?
Yeah.
Like you don't book meetings in the morning, you don't book shoots in the morning?
It depends on what it is, because I don't work every day. So if I get a big contract and they say we're going to start at 6 a.m., all right, I maybe have to switch my non-negotiables to at night.
Yeah.
But like that's not an everyday thing. Right. That's probably once every couple of weeks. And but 98% of the time, my mornings is to myself, and I don't even talk to anybody until 10 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like even go on your phone?
Yeah, I do. I'm guilty. Yeah, of course. That's my big problem is like getting distracted by that thing. But like, yeah.
Don't you have that app that I hate?
It was that
the one where you have to turn your phone around.
Yeah, that app works so well.
No, you have to like turn your phone around.
Yeah, like it literally deters me from using. You can do puzzles. You can like breathe. It has so many things to get you to not go on social media. But it works so well. I was like, damn, I need to delete this.
Wait, really?
I deleted it because it's like, damn, like.
You weren't Like, what do you mean?
Because you don't realize how many times you like swipe in and out of an app. And like, say I'm on Instagram and somebody messages me real quick. I go check the message and I go right back to Instagram. It'll lock you out for another 60 seconds. And then you look at something else again, and then you go back and it locks you out for another 60 seconds. For after that, you're like, I don't even want to do this no more.
Yeah, but I remember I was with you. We were in Bangkok, and I remember you had just got the app, and we were sitting there at breakfast, and like you just kept picking up your phone, and you were trying to spin your phone, and you would put it down. And you were like, oh, and you kept spinning it. And I was like, Jay, I was like, delete the app. I was like, I can't handle you spinning that.
It works so well. So like, a part of my routine is like, yeah, I'm like everybody else. Like I get on my phone, I look at social media sometimes. But as far as like working and stuff like that, nah, I keep that to myself most of the time.
That's great. I think like those morning routines are so important because they set the tone for the rest of your day.
Yeah.
And especially if you're really busy with work, like that tone that you set carries you through all the hard work, through all the long shoots, like even through the frustrating moments of being.
It's actually kind of hard to be creative all day. Like there's only a few people that I know that can be turn it on whenever they want. For me, I have to like kind of ease into it.
Same, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Like if I have to edit something, I'm like, let me meditate, let me get my mind right, let me get my tea, let me get my coffee.
Oh my gosh, I do the same thing. Lucy and I, my roommate Lucy and I, you know Lucy, we like have this like thing where like we both make tea and we get a little snack and then we like put on Hulu and then we have like, I don't know, we always have to get into like a flow and then like 45 minutes in, then we're like, okay, we're in the flow and we'll sit there for like 4 hours and just like work.
You ever like set yourself up to like, all right, I'm gonna edit all day, and then like 4 o'clock comes around.
Oh my gosh, stop!
Literally,
that was me today. That was me today. Today was my off day because I was supposed to have a shoot all day, and then I ended up not having it. It got canceled, and so then I was like, I'm using all of today just to edit. And then it was like 2 p.m. and I had just done emails and like I was packing, and I was like, it didn't even work. And I was like, you know what, whatever. I didn't get in the flow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
As much as these people that like have that hustle mentality and all that stuff like that, we're all humans at the end of the day. Like nobody's 24/7. You know what I mean? You can say that all you want in the video.
You have to be like a robot.
Yeah, this is real life at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's also not healthy to be in that robotic like mindset.
Yeah.
Like you'll burn you'll literally become, I feel like, a stranger to yourself if you're just constantly.
You'll burn out, and then your work will not even reflect your passion. Like it won't even be good.
Yeah, your work suffers. So like, I am a highly productive person, but I am a human at the end of the day. I have my emotions, and I get heartbroken. There's jobs that I thought I was gonna get, I get let down. So like, there's a constant of emotions every day, and sometimes it's hard to be creative and make the coolest video in the world. But as long as you have that mindset of like, all right, next day, let's do it. Next day, let's do it. You know what I mean?
That was a reel right there. That was
like,
so good. I was like, oh, he's speaking to my soul right now. Dang, yeah, I relate to that hard.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. I've never thought about it that way though. Where it's like it's an emotional thing to be a full-time creator because like there are so many ups and downs, and sometimes I get so hard on myself and I feel emotional, but then I feel guilty that I'm feeling like upset about not getting the job that I want or like not being able to concentrate the way that like I might need to. But you're right. There's such a flow of emotions, and like it's so much more difficult and emotional than I think like a 9 to 5 is.
Oh yeah, cause like, bro, I just came back from Colombia and I was out all day. I was shooting all day out there. It was hot. I get back, I'm sunburnt, I'm all that, and I remember the first day I got back, I was like, I'm gonna edit. And once I got up and woke up to do my non-negotiables, I was like, man, hell no, I'm not doing none of that shit right now. So I just laid in bed. I gave myself a few days, and then now I'm getting back into it. I'm getting back into the flow. And as long as you come back into that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So how do you, going off of like your non-negotiables, how do you get yourself into making sure that you don't get out of those non-negotiables? Like, because I try to be a morning person and I literally can't, and I'm trying to change that part of my life because it like affects the rest of my life not being a morning person. But getting those non-negotiables for me, it's so hard to like tick them all off in the morning. Like, what are some tips?
I just give myself until 10 o'clock in the morning to do whatever you want to do. And that can be meditate in the morning, that can be doing workout, that can be doing just anything. And it doesn't have to be a strict, like from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., you're going to journal. From 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., you're going to run. You know what I mean? It's just like, as long as you do something for yourself, that's all that matters. And that's all your body needs. And it could just be laying in bed till 10 a.m.
That's kind of like how I am. I have my like mornings open. I do till 9 a.m., But it depends if I like am out like late the night before doing a project, like it kind of like waves a little. But
set a block.
But like I do that, like if I know like I want to do a hike, I want to like eat, I want to like maybe just like meditate or decompress or yoga. Some mornings I won't want to do any of those, but I'll still make sure before 9, like unless it's like again like some huge client like on a deadline or something, I'll just like maybe even just lay there and just like think.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But as long as you set that deadline of like, all right, 10 a.m., my ass is doing something.
Yeah.
And as long as you have that, they set that block, then life becomes way easier because you don't have to be a robot and you're on a strict schedule 24/7. Just set time for yourself. Give yourself that time when you wake up to 10 a.m. or whatever time you pick, and just do whatever you want.
I think that's a good. I have one more question in like this topic. Do you think that when you are constantly like working, I guess, okay, wait, let me kind of restate this. To go to maybe like people who are still just starting out in their creative journey, they might not have, let's say, I don't want to say the luxury, but the luxury to have those non-negotiables because they have to constantly be working. What's your opinion on that? Or like what advice would you give for that?
For people that don't have non-negotiables?
Or I guess maybe they just don't have like the time, or they don't think they have the time because they're just starting out in the industry.
Everybody has the time, you know what I mean? And if you work all day and like you only have you have an hour to do something cool for your side career, you have an hour to do something for your side career. And like there's no excuses. Like if you really want something, you'll set time for it. Like a relationship with a person. Like if you really like that person, you will set time aside and like, hey, I got 30 minutes on Saturday. Let me do something.
It's prioritizing.
It's prioritizing. If this is something you really want to do, you can't push it off to the side. I remember in school when I was in film school and everything, there's so many parties and there's so many school assignments and there's so many things to do. But for me, I was like, I got to get good at this photography stuff. I got to get good at making films. And I would set time every day. It would be 30 minutes here, an hour here, 2 hours there. As long as you set time at least a couple times a week, you're doing better than a lot of people because people don't do that.
Yeah, and realistically, like, even though the days are short, if you think about all the time you put towards, like, let's say video games or texting or, like, being on Instagram, like, that is the time you could put into your morning routine or into learning a new skill or learning more about the photography or videography endeavors that we're going for. And yeah, it's true. Like, it really is just prioritizing your time and like taking, like for me, I need to schedule everything out because I'm very bad at prioritizing.
Like
so
time blocking?
I have to time block and I use so many apps to like basically figure out what I'm doing every day and knock everything off one thing at a time. But like that gets you into a good routine. And anyone who's starting, that's really all it takes is just sitting down and being like, okay, this is how much time I have every day. Where is my time being put?
Exactly. And it's like most people don't work 7 days out the week. You know what I mean? If you have that one off day, that can be your day to start your side hustle. You know what I mean? If you want to be a wedding photographer, people get married one Saturday out of the random months. You know what I mean? So it's like just pick that one Saturday to do your wedding photography.
Just like show up to their wedding and crash.
Yeah, exactly. just pick one thing, one day, and then set time aside and do it.
Okay, I kind of want to dive into talking about like representation in the creative industry because I know you have a lot to say about that and a lot of like really good value to add. So I guess let's kind of lead with like how do you feel about the representation in the creative industry and like in terms of like diversity and just what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I think there needs to be way more representation between minorities in the creative world and specifically the travel space. Because you can scroll on Instagram every day and you don't see people that look like me doing that type of thing. You know what I mean? There's probably one every blue moon and everybody knows that Carl Shakur, but then it's like a huge fall off. I'm like, shit, man, there is that one guy in Texas, Jay, he does some cool stuff now and then, but you can't just give off a list like everybody else because like we're, as a minority, we're not exposed to that type of thing. Growing up as a black kid, especially from Palmdale, the only thing you're taught is, all right, work hard, go to college, get a job, or go play sports and see what happens out of that, or be a rapper, do this type of thing. But there's no exploring, hey, my son wants to be a painter. Let's put him in painting school, or my daughter wants to play the piano. Let's put her in that type of thing. There's not enough exposure to creativity. And that's why I want to use my platform to say, hey, there's other outlets out there besides just the common norm, you know what I mean? There's so many opportunities, and you can make a lot of money. You can live the most amazing life taking pictures, you know what I mean? Like, I've traveled to my 27th country last week.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
I was trying to do 30 before 30.
30 before 30,
Yeah.
so I'm 28 now, so I think...
You'll make it.
You hit like a new country every month.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, Jay
You'll
goes to
get
a
there
new
by
place.
August.
Yeah.
But I just want to be, I'm doing that because like I never saw anybody else that looked like me doing that. And so that was like my goal. I'm like, I got to get out of Palmdale, and I just want to explore the world and see what it's like. And there's beauty in it, you know what I mean? And I want to show that, and I want to be a person that people look up to. And like, hey, look at Jay. He went to 30 countries by 30 years old. He works with these beautiful people. Like, he takes pictures of these amazing things, and he gets paid for it. How can I do that? If a kid is in high school looking on the internet, like, and he runs into Jay Ford, that's what I want to be.
I know.
I love that.
I'm like,
That's so sweet.
well, you are doing that. I hope you know. Like, you are already doing that, and like very successful at it.
I appreciate it. I just want to do a little bit more of it. And my thing where I really noticed it the most is when we had that film festival, and everybody was on stage, and I was the only black person.
We talked about that afterwards.
And I was like, wow, I'm honored. I love that. I'm around the most creative people that I've ever been around. These are people I looked up to my whole life. But I'm like, damn, I'm the only one. How do we get more people? And it doesn't have to be black. It could be Asian, it could be Latino, it could be whatever you are. You can do it. You know what I mean?
So what, like, to kind of go to you and your journey, what challenges have you faced in the industry? Like, just in that whole space, like, what have you had to like overcome? Is there anything that's happened to you specifically that like you just feel like, yeah, this probably wouldn't have happened, but like, or this probably shouldn't happen?
Just me being me, because you don't see me too much, and when you go on sets, you're not used to the cool black dude looking smooth, you know what I mean? I have to get over that stigma of like, oh, he's that black person, I don't know if we should hire him. I want to be the person that can blend into anything. I want to be the person that I can talk to Donald Trump tomorrow, and then also I can be with my homies back home, you know what I mean? There has to be a certain balance of that. And the stigma is, because you don't see it enough doesn't mean we're not good enough. And I really want to show that. And when I come correct. You're going to get the best work possible. I have a full team, and you're going to have fun while doing it.
You're like setting a standard.
Yeah,
for
set a standard.
yourself
You have
and
to set a
everyone
standard.
else.
And it doesn't have to be a race thing. It's just like, I know what I can get to. I know what standard it should be, and I'm going to reach for that as much as I can.
Yeah, I kind of see it as like you're setting a standard beyond even professionalism of like the artistic direction as well. And then without you even needing to say anything, it speaks for the rest of everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be a race thing. It's just like, I'm a good artist, and I'm setting the standard for what a good artist is.
Exactly. And just a professional, you know what I mean? Like, you can be the most creative person in the world, but if you don't know how to have a conversation with somebody and make them feel warm and happy, give them great direction, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So I want to be a person that has all those things notched off. And if there's something that I don't know how to do, I'm figuring it out right now.
Totally. So I want to segue back into like talking about how people who maybe come from like areas of the world that don't have as much privilege as, let's say, like someone growing up in like California or like a big city. What do you think we could do as society to help introduce more kids of every type of lifestyle into the arts? Like, how can we make it more obvious and more approachable for a child, a kid, a teenager to know, like, if I want to pursue being an artist, that's totally doable. Beyond just like having a platform. It's do you have any ideas or like things you would love to see or be involved in to help people open up that door for other people?
I think having it in schools to where you can say photography is a major that you can make a lot of money in. Because I remember when I first started photography, and then telling people, hey, my major is photography, and people at the school be like, what kind of job are you gonna get with that? You know, at first it used to mess me up. I'm like, what do you mean? I can get a job now. And I'm over here Googling. I'm like, oh, can you make money doing it? But
can you make money if you take photos?
I think we've all done that too.
Yeah. Oh, I have to like Google how to make money as a photographer.
What's the salary for a photographer? But at first, it's like when I first started coming up, photography and videography wasn't a huge thing. But with the use of social media, thank the Lord that there is that exposure to now. You're seeing all these people. We're like rock stars now. You're seeing all of us travel around the world. You have us hanging out. We're hanging out with the coolest people. And that exposure gives it the okay. It was like, oh, okay, maybe we can teach in school because they're doing that. And I think schools to implement that and say that is a real option, I think that is so important. And people in other countries, I don't know quite yet. I'm not too well versed. But just that exposure to saying it is okay to be a creative person. There is jobs you can do and how to create your own job. You know what I mean? It's like we're battling every day on how to be a business owner because we're all freelance people. But what if they taught that in schools of like, all right, how do you be an entrepreneur but also a creative? You know what I mean? Because there's certain things that I didn't know when I first graduated college. I'm like, damn, how do I write a contract? What needs to be in a contract? Like, I shouldn't have to ask Google every time. They should teach that in the school. And then,
it's fine. We got ChatGPT now.
Yeah,
honestly, I do use ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best. But it's like that. Why do we have to resort to that when we should have been taught a long time ago? You know what I mean? Algebra, I don't think it's as important as teaching somebody how to be an entrepreneur and how to handle money. And,
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
Preach.
Yeah.
We're gonna make that one into a reel.
I've never used geometry. I've never used biology.
Ever.
The only thing I ever, writing is the only subject I ever really used was just learning how to write. But like an entrepreneurial class, a finance class, all of that would have been so much more helpful.
And I'm dealing with that right now because I started to come into money. I never got taught how to use money. My parents don't come from money. I never had money, but now when I started to get it, I'm like, damn, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And I thought I had a lot of money, but I'm like, no, you didn't cover your bills. There's certain things you have to do.
But that's important because like handling money, like literally, if you don't do it the right way, then like you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're never going to become wealthy. Yeah. You can have money here and there, but like building wealth goes beyond just having high paying jobs. It's putting your money into places that are going to grow your money.
Exactly.
I wasn't taught that. I still don't even know where to put it.
You can get a lot of money and still be broke. It's a mindset. You know what I mean? If it's not being put in the right places, if you're not doing the right things, if you're not saving money for taxes, blah, 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 you're stuck, you know what I mean? And that hinders you being a creative because it's like, damn, now I can't afford to pay rent in LA. Now I got to go back to Palmdale, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many things that we should have been taught as a young person. Teaching creativity in schools and saying it is okay and to not think of those kids as the weird kids. We're the really cool kids now. Now people are jealous of us. Yeah. And now people that went to medical school are saying, hey, damn, I wish I would have done what they do. And 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was the complete opposite. So now that we're doing what we do, we got to show and we got to shine.
Being the artist is the new doctor.
Being an artist is new doctor.
I was going to say, in a way, maybe not doctor because we will forever need doctors.
I feel like creators are becoming the new celebrities.
For sure.
Or like the new, like, what's a cool industry that people used to really want to get into?
Like celebrities, like acting?
I mean, but beyond celebrities, like...
It was like business was like, that's how you make money.
Business or like tech, investment, whatever. Like those all used to be the cool business
stuff. The new Wall Street.
Yeah. We're all that, you know what I mean? We're such cool people. The creative mind, you'll never be bored, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like we are the coolest people in the world. And we have to show that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think to jump into it, we do a segment called Two Truths and a Lie. Okay. Basically, what you have to do is tell us 3 insanely cool or just projects that you're proud of that you've worked on, and one of them has to be a lie, but you can't tell us which one because we're going to guess which one's the lie.
Okay.
And use this as your moment to flex. Like, give us, like, your dopest projects or biggest accomplishments.
And put them in any order. And don't be obvious when you say it.
That's a hard one. Let's see. I've worked on a Netflix film. I've never been in love. And
His biggest accomplishment, I've never been in love.
I was gonna say, wow.
And I've hung out with Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's never been in love.
I was gonna say, I think it because I feel like kind of biased since I'm really good friends with you. I think it's never been in love.
Also, how is that an accomplishment?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes!
It has to be related to your creator industry. Also, is that an accomplishment, never being in love?
I'm so confused by that one.
I mean, I could be, because maybe you're like saving it for the right person.
That's the truth.
The Netflix one is a lie?
No, Netflix one is true. Fuck, I fucked
You
it all up. Let me start
haven't.
over.
So you have been in love?
You just
Never
gave
been
us
in
3
love.
truths. Jay, it's not that complicated. You gave us 3 accomplishments. 2 of them are real. 1 is a lie. We're leaving this in the episode.
We're leaving
this.
this.
So funny.
We're putting you on blast for this.
So you need to have.
He already made us redo this once.
1's not true.
Jay's like sweating right now.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, just okay. Okay.
He's had a long day, guys.
Okay, the Netflix film and hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio, that could be potential.
No, we know that's.
I think we both know those are true.
Yeah, we know that that's true.
All right, restart. Come on. Yeah. But you have to give us a lie. You have to lie to us.
One of them has to be a lie.
Okay, fuck. All right.
And make it about like you and your work.
Okay.
I've never been in love. That's funny. No one's ever said anything like that before.
I'm trying to say what's up. I know a lot of ladies is on this.
That's like my biggest accomplishment. I've never been in love. Ladies, what's up?
All right, let's do it. All right,
like
ready?
your conquest.
Ready? 2 truths and a lie. All right. I have worked on a huge Nike campaign. I have been a director of a Netflix film. And I have never been to Africa.
That was so not what I expected.
He doesn't get it. I know. Never been to Africa. Also not an accomplishment.
I don't think you understand how this segment works.
I understand how this works.
We're just going to keep it in and we're just going to run with this.
Okay, I think the Nike campaign is a lie.
It is a lie.
I was going to say, because I know they're one of your dream clients.
Yeah, that is my
You
dream
have been
client.
to Africa.
I never.
Wait, so you gave us 2 lies? Jay. All right.
Is it hot?
Jay's protein shake that I got him before this is starting to hit
That's
him.
so funny. What the fuck?
So much pressure. There's so much pressure.
Wait, so you were a director on a Netflix film, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he gave us 2 lies and 1 truth.
Yeah, I know. What? The first time it was all true. The second time was 2 lies and 1 truth. The next time we get him on the podcast, we'll finally get 2 truths and a lie.
Okay, so let's move on to the next segment.
Okay, the next
Hopefully Jay doesn't fuck this one up.
segment. Who knows, Jay? Who knows?
Okay.
Dude,
So,
that is so funny. I'm
That
crying.
was so funny. Yeah, same. I have like actual tears in my eyes.
Tell
That
Jay.
was so much pressure. All the hard questions I got, that was the hardest one. That was the hardest
Oh my
one.
God, Jay, I miss you. Really? Jay cracks me up.
Next question.
Next segment.
All right, the next segment is.
Boo boo doo doo doo.
Oh, we finally have a table to do
Yeah,
this.
do 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 do.
Oh, okay.
And shoot your shot. We want to know who your creator crush is.
Oh, shit.
And this can't be like, some famous celebrity. This got to be an actual creator that you got a little crush on. You think is either cute or you love their work and their vibe.
Have like a under like.
This is you shooting your shot.
Yes.
Oh, shit. This is a new... Damn.
Oh, let's do it.
This is a
the tea.
This is a new thing because I was like, everybody obviously loves this person,
Okay.
and I was always person like, oh yeah, she's cute. Like,
Okay.
never thought about it, but I had actually recently met her, and I'm like, okay.
Serious shoot shot. Dude.
Chelsea Kawhi. Yo,
She's cute.
Yeah, she's hot.
I didn't
And
know.
she's so sweet.
It was years of me. It was like, oh yeah, she's dope. And then I met her. I'm like, oh, what's up?
Well, Chelsea, Jade's never been in love, and he's ready for you.
She has a boyfriend.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure she has a boyfriend, but
Hey, I'm still single, and I can wait.
I'm gonna send her this.
Doesn't Claire's friends with her? She's gonna send it.
I love how everyone keeps saying people that I know, and I'm just gonna start like trying. Well, no, she's not available.
I know.
The ones that are available, I'm gonna be like.
She literally put my shoot. When she asked me to shoot my shot, I said my answer,
him.
and she texted it to him, and I was like,
I acted so cool about it. I was like, LOL, someone mentioned you on this podcast. I didn't say like anything specifically, and then I just sent a link to her podcast.
And then there's me.
Your face.
It's fine. He probably didn't.
But I am single. I am single. If there's any ladies that you guys know.
Do I got a creator girl?
Hang on, this is becoming The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know.
love it.
Somebody that can travel the world. I want to travel the world.
Okay, wait, ready? Let's do this. Okay.
We're pitching.
So I know that if you guys are listening to this, you can't see us, but for those who
on
can't
YouTube.
see us, Jay, look at the camera right now. What? Jay is single. He's ready for love. Jay, what are you looking for in a girl?
I am looking for somebody that is willing and able to travel, that can be very spontaneous, that can kind of take the lead on dates. I don't want to have to figure out the date every time. I'll pay for it. That's gonna be handled. That's gonna be handled.
We love that.
But if you set the plan, you know what I mean? Like sometimes a guy wants to be kind of catered to as well. You know what I mean? We want to learn about fun dates and stuff like that. So I just downloaded the dating apps. And,
Did you just download them?
Just downloaded it. And I'm
Jay,
trying it out.
that is such a lie. That should be in your two truths and a lie. Jay has had downloaded those apps. He's like on Riot.
Yeah.
I'm putting him on blast.
Wait, I still haven't seen you on Raya.
I'm still single. You're on there too.
You know what's funny? I just matched with one of my friends the other day, which obviously was like to be funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, why am I being shown people in Bali?
Yeah.
Not even people in LA. Like, how have I never seen you on Riot? And I get shown people in Bali. I'm like, I'm not even anywhere near Bali.
It thinks I'm like in Jerusalem right now. What? In like Jerusalem, in Ibiza, Spain. I'm like, why am I getting this?
So you can't, even if you set your location on Riot, it doesn't like show you people only in your location.
I know.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
I used to have it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the one that recommended Jay. He made me re-download it just to recommend him.
Yeah. So I'm still
I
single.
literally just signed up and paid $20 to have it for one more month to recommend you. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
No, it's okay. I put the just friends thing on. I was like, ooh, who are these people around here?
It hasn't worked quite yet, and I'm still on the market. So if the Shoot Your Shot podcast can cater that to me,
we got you.
I'm more than open.
We're gonna have to.
We'll run advertisement on
We
the reel.
should.
That's what Alex Romo did. He said,
Yeah, and he
What?
found his girlfriend.
Alex Romo found his girl off TikTok.
'Cause they did that,
Because Sam Newton was like, yo, Alex Romo is single.
And they put money
ladies.
behind it?
No, they didn't put money behind
Oh.
it. He just made a TikTok,
Yeah.
and then it
But it
low-key
became like a
blew
thing.
up. It blew up. It was like Alex
Whoa.
Romo needs a girlfriend.
No way.
And
then
Michi commented.
Michi commented it.
Stop. I didn't know that.
And
Oh, that's
now they travel the
cute.
world, and she sets dates,
That's
and I
cute.
kind of want that.
You're like, Michi, you got a sister?
Yeah, literally.
But
Well,
yeah.
we will have you on again, Jay, and we will get an update on your dating life.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Wait, how fun would it be to have like an episode where we just set creators up?
I would love that. A
Like,
matchmaker.
shoot your shot.
What if we did like basically it's like Raya before creators?
Oh my god,
You know what I
guys!
mean? And
I'm
we
not
have
even
people
kidding.
we have people
That'd
send
be-
in their profiles and then we match them and we call them and we set them up on dates. On
That'd be-
FaceTime
Oh my god!
dates.
Wait, no!
That'd be sick for
Blind
YouTube
podcast
Shorts.
dates.
Oh! Yes! Wait, I love that
Blind podcast dates.
I'm down.
No, listen, guys. I like am obsessed with reality TV, and like this is all I've ever wanted to do.
No, that'll be sick.
And
we'll
like,
be the
it'll
host.
blow up on like YouTube Shorts. Like
my
people
gosh.
would
Oh
love
my
shit
God.
like
Love that.
Blah.
Okay, we're gonna start working on this
We're
idea.
going to do this. We're taking submissions now. Just DM us until we figure out a portal to actually submit to.
But
All right,
yeah,
well,
It's actually so fun.
With that, Jay, thank you so much
Yes,
for coming
thank
on.
you.
I know
Thank you
this
so much.
episode is going to inspire a lot of people. You're so relatable and talented
Thank you,
and
thank
fun,
you.
and we're super excited you got to
Yes.
come on. Which, okay, funny story behind the scenes for all of our listeners. We actually
Oh,
had
yeah.
Jay on in like December.
He was actually our very first
very
guest
first
ever
guest
podcast,
yeah.
like ever episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The first ever?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I was,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, he was the first episode. We didn't use it because the audio was horrible.
Literally, our
also,
mics weren't
Georgia
on.
and I were horrible hosts. It was
It's
just not
it was
put
trial and
together.
error.
Yeah, it was the first one. We
It
don't know
was
what we
the
were
first
doing.
one.
Yeah. So we've.
So
Do you
now
think we've
look
come a
at
long way?
Yeah, a long way. It's-
Yeah, give us
I had
some
a really good
compliments,
time. I had
Jay.
a
How are we
really good
doing?
time. No, this was
We're
awesome.
like compliment us. I'm just kidding.
No, this was awesome. I really had a good time. The questions were amazing, and a lot of people are going to get inspired off of this type of stuff. stuff.
you.
And to see two young, two young, beautiful women doing this that are in the creative world, we need more of that as well. You know what I mean? So like, you guys are doing it, keep doing it, and don't stop.
Claire's like at Canon France, me at DJI, talk to us.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see. I don't know if you guys will do the podcast over Zoom the next couple ones, but I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm saying it. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you guys again for tuning in. Jay, we absolutely love you.
Thank
Claire,
you.
do
Love
the
you
social
guys.
tags. I like when you do it.
Thanks again for coming into another episode of Shoot Your Shot Podcast. Please leave us a rate and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us a follow on. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Reinhardt was missed.
Give us a follow on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Please let us know what you think of the episode so far. So please leave comments. You can do that also on Spotify. You can send like a little like what you think about the episode, and just generally do all the things you would do to support a podcast, which really means sharing with people that you know and love. We would love if we got into like your creator group chats or like
Or share with some
Instagram
girls that might be
stories.
interested in Jay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, send this to any potential suitors for Jay. And follow us on all social platforms at Shoot Your Shot Podcast _ on Instagram.
Cool.
And with that, we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Sweet.
See here?
Is it?
No.